Ya, aman ya, aman.
Sama.
Coba guys, kalian komen siapa streamer detik yang paling sering salah.
Kalau gue nggak denger bukan salah dong.
Sama aja.
Nael kuntil. Udah terjadi guys, sudah terjadi ya biar terjadi. Gak apa-apa. Tapi kenapa ya? Kenapa Burmese Gold Band Khalid ya?
OP lah Khalid Jo.
Hah?
Yeah, we can actually see the
Guinevere.
Guinevere. We can also see
Iya kan nggak sampai first band nggak sih? Siapa yang band pertama di sini?
First pick win. Kita lihat guys ya.
Rekomen buat apps pakai kettlebell. Gue nggak suka sih main kettlebell sih.
The new jungler of Geekfam ya.
Masih bisa Brody kan, gak ada Lilia.
Tuh guys,
Faramis dulu boleh, Faramis dulu.
Gunanya bawa substitute tuh buat itu guys ya. Kesalahan sendiri dibuat ya ampun.
Siap Sabi Bas, thank you banget bro.
Penasaran Marky main apa guys, serius.
With the Bruno now and the Faramis locked in, those are two comfort picks. Those are two big boys.
BBs. Speaking of BBs, there's Uranus. So he's locked in. Valentino alongside that.
Uranus.
You know, this is one of those picks, man, that Uranus, there's a reason why he was so popular in the XP lane for the longest time.
Helga. Happy birthday Helga, semoga yang terbaik selalu ya.
Ini kalau junglernya Neo gini masih menang hebat ya guys ya Geekfam ya.
He's just a brick basically. But still very useful for a lot of these teams.
So
Bro, Baxi.
Waduh, Marky main Baxi ya.
Gila. Baxi ya Marky.
Apa dia main Nathan jungler ya?
Thank you Zidane.
And not to mention that the Valentina for Team Burmese Gold at this point can actually steal that Netherrealm or whatever comes next from that Team Geekfam. So far, I can, even though Geek have a really good first draft, but Team Burmese Gold, I think there's a tie here for me.
Masih ada Odet
so far.
Tadi Odet OP.
Kalau sih pakai watch aja jadi 3.000 menit ya. Karena agak sejernih nonton langsung aja sih.
Kalau udah 2 game BO5 ini Nail bisa main nggak Promax? Nggak bisa, dibilangin dua lawan 2 tim.
Terus mungkin ada yang nggak ngerti juga jadi ribet lah.
Irfan Kurniawan bayar utangnya Irfan Kurniawan.
Baru main jungle. Kalau miss retri udahlah.
Looking at the way the Geekfam are drafting towards, right? The Faramis, the Bruno, the Baxia.
Ini suara match-nya.
Jangan Marky miss retri terus kolom komentar langsung ini.
Jangan dihujat guys ya.
Dihujat Nael kayak deh bis.
It feels very Geekfam.
Yang miss Marky dihujat Nael kayak deh.
It feels like that kind of Geekfam. MPLID season 12.
Ya ini Nael lagi di kolong meja sedikit Nael.
Enggak lah cowok,
masa setolol itu sih yang hujat Marky.
Nael lagi fokus banin ini sih kolom komentar.
Lu kalau jadi Nael deg-degan gak sih?
Gua deg-degan. Gue siapin ini Jo, gue siapin akun banyak. Apa namanya?
Deg-degan gimana maksudnya Jo?
Kayak aduh, ayo menang dong gitu. Kayak kalau kalah itu kan bebannya setengahnya udah di dia gitu.
Merasa guilty sih kalau gua.
Aku jujur ya, lebih deg-degan jadi Nael daripada jadi Marky main jungler. Karena nothing tulus Marky kan.
Iya.
Dia tuh orang yang baru pindah ke role baru, ya udahlah kalau main jelek.
Kalau main jelek tinggal bergumam aja, Nael bangsa, Nael bangsa. Waduh, gua kalau jadi Marky ya, terus Nael to max ya, gua kayak ya, aduh. Aduh.
Kalau lu sengaja kalahin terus
minimal max diare seminggu sih gua bikin.
Gue yakin pasti Jok kalahin terus nyalahin gue anjing. Gue gak bisa jungler nih si Maxil.
Rafli.
Dulu gue pas jungle Evo dihujat Max.
Live mode. Gone.
Jadi
gue lupa sih.
2 match guys, bukan 2 game. Bedain ya match, berarti kalau harus ketemu 2 tim guys baru bisa main. Kalian bayangin.
Siap, Nicholas Ong siap.
add
Thank you,
just
Olive.
like one more crowd control
Kalau gue
here,
jadi
crowd
Burmese
control
Gold, gue
just
ban
seems
semua
to be
jungler
the
tank,
missing
paksa
piece for
marking
me.
dan assassin.
But for Team
Jahat
Burmese
banget
Bulls,
lu, Bang.
after banning the Digi, they should be the ones who
Justru
take
lebih
some crowd control.
lebih susah main.
Anjir, siap Akai, Cok.
Lebih susah main assassin, Jo.
Iya
Right
ya.
now, Geekfam
Tank mah
have a
gitu
tough
doang.
road up
Ini
ahead.
draftnya
They wanna
BG
dive to
gimana
the
nih
back,
menurut
right? They
kalian
have
nih?
the box shed to risk,
Wah, ini
the
dia udah
Tigreal.
pick Akai, Cow. Lu tahu
Now
Akai
they might have
ngapain
to
di
think
sini
of
kan?
something like a Benedetto,
Ngapain?
maybe
Counter
even
Counter
a
Paramis.
Paramis.
Iya, Max. Iya, tahu gua.
Real tough.
Gue jujur
If the
ya,
big
ini
shit doesn't
draftnya
get
enak
bullied,
Counter
doesn't
Tigreal
get
ya
shut
sih,
down,
bro.
Iya, kalau gue malah counter Tigreal, aneh banget.
Iya, Paramis terus lu.
Iya,
One thing
counter
too is,
Tigreal tapi
I would
counter
say,
Paramis
extra
juga gitu
glass
maksud
cannon,
gua.
right? You gotta be
Press.
able to utilize that full barrage. A lot of the
Ketik
times,
apa
the
XP-nya,
most
Max? Gini,
aggressive
Max.
players,
Gini,
you'll see them flicker
Gue
forward.
jujur
Arlot.
bingung juga di rock
And
gitu.
really, that is
Di rock
great
kali
and
ya.
all,
Tapi
but
dimakan sama
obviously
gue
you
terus, Tar.
expose yourself, right? You
Gimana
put
dong?
yourself up to getting taken out. there.
Kenapa Nael nggak main? Ega Rembang.
Oke.
Karena dia gini,
Like we
ya,
mentioned,
Mang.
di kamera.
Kadera
Oh,
main
Sofia.
you haven't seen
Kadera,
it
Kadera,
Gerak.
main.
but it's still
Kadera
great in
main
certain
jungler gitu,
scenarios, and this is one of them.
Kadera yang jungler.
Well,
Ya,
in a 1v1
Baksianya di nama
battle,
Kadera.
It's
Terus
your
Gas,
win
Max.
against the Bruno,
Wah,
but
gila,
it's
mata
not
lu
a
cepet
1v1
banget, bro.
game, it's a
Bro,
5v5.
makanya kalau gue
So we
ngeliat
will
ada yang
see
kayak
the Yuzong actually take
kebuka dikit
care
langsung
of that
tutup juga
Ixia
mata
because
gua.
she
Nah,
doesn't
itu
have
namanya
any
namanya
easier.
otaknya
She has
cabul
to use
itu.
her flicker
Lah,
to
emang lu
get
pikir
her
gue
way-
buka-buka
to
ngomongin
see her
apa,
way
Cok?
out.
Ini, oh.
Apalagi coba
So
apa?
the thing that I
Kloset
actually
kebuka, ada
really like
tainya.
about Burmese Goals draft is that Akai,
Lu,
because
Cok.
Akai can actually go in for this
Ngerti,
neutral
kau
objectives
tahu
and
lu,
use his
Mes.
heavy
Wah,
skill
lu lihat
just
Gambar.
to
Tahuan ya.
zone
Lu
out
mending lu
Marky or
cari kaca, lu
Team
ludahin
Geekfam
muka lu
generally,
sendiri di
but
kaca
at
deh.
least
Goblok
Pakai
banget.
buy some crowd control to secure
anjing.
his retribution.
Toli pakai Pepsoden.
Well, with those in the mind,
Oke guys.
Let's go kita masuk ke game pertama di sini ya.
Anjol.
Myanmar
Ayo dong,
versus
lower.
Indonesia.
Malu nggak?
Kasih dukungan kalian untuk Geekfam guys. Let's go 92% di live chat.
Game number one.
Game
It's
pertama
versus
Geekfam
Burmese
tanpa
Ghouls.
Nael.
Who will start out on
Tanpa
the
jungler, Martin
Kalian
versus
draft mana nih?
jungler di sini ya.
Once again, a
Tahuan,
lot of
thank
eyes
you.
gonna be on
Draft
Marky.
megang mana
Mau.
kalian?
How does he perform?
Draft
Wah,
sih.
Indo lah.
On this utility pick for
Draft,
this
draft.
first game, it is a box shot.
Gua juga pegang kiri di draft.
Against
Tapi
a
gua dukung
matchup
Inter.
that we've
Gua
seen so
kanan
much,
lah.
right? The box shot
Lu pegang
versus
kanan
the
draftnya,
Akai.
Doi.
Yoi,
And
Luke
this might just come
Yujong.
down to the execution factor for both
Ayo
teams
nih,
leading
Marky
into those
Maxia nih.
objectives.
Gue baca.
Who can allow their gold laners to shine further here?
Yujong di sini tapi ada Akai ya?
Enak Jo lawan Akai Jo justru. Yuzong.
Oh, Gwynnya Gwyn Rom, Akainya yang jungler.
Wah, bagus banget karena Akai itu counter Baxia di jungler juga guys.
Aston Tank ya, Mas, nanti malam Lita lagi enggak?
Bisa dijauhin.
Tapi sebenarnya kalau tadi Akainya Rom juga oke nggak sih?
Bisa jauhin juga ya, sama ya?
Iya, bisa fokus ke Tigrealnya juga kan?
Univer lebih kuat Jo di Rom, lebih bisa make move lah.
Iya, untuk lawan Paramis juga lebih bisa nge-bait Purif sih.
Kalau Akai kan di Rom jelek guys.
Marky's doing a good
Oh, ini
job.
first time kita lihat Baloy main Tigreal juga ya kayaknya ya.
Has a bit of a lead, but now I wanna ask you guys, right? Burmese Ghouls definitely have a
Rari,
advantage
thank you,
going
bilang
into
ke
the
Max
first
ya
round.
udah dah kalau nggak mau nggak usah
For the
marah-marah.
most part, you know, especially
Nggak mau apa,
depending on
anjing?
how they
Lu nggak mau
utilize
apa Max sama si
the
Yari?
ultimates that they have. One
Apa,
great
Cok?
thing, even as we take a
Kemarin
look
Isma,
preview here
sekarang Yari.
of these emblems, is the things fall into place.
Lu
right? There's a whole
marah-marah,
lot
lu
of tenacity,
kekerasan
by the
sama
way,
cewek.
that is going
Wah.
to
Ada,
be
anjing,
key
Asri.
for Burmese Ghouls, how they
Kenal aja
transfer
kagak,
through
anjing.
this game. A lot of penetration with the ruptures
Thank
as
you
well.
Kiwil,
Playing
luar
into
panas
that
Royal
again,
Pleasure.
looking to
Kita lihat
get
ya,
the
turtle
upper
pertama ya.
hand
Wih,
on
nih
a lot
Marky
of
dapet
this.
guys ya.
Now, the
Wih,
turtle's
nih.
gonna be up here.
Kayak aneh liat Marky main jungle, coba biasa Nael aduh.
Always going to be a
Tarik
profitable
turtle,
opening, whether it's to
asik.
secure
Biasanya di
yourself
gold lane
or,
farming.
you know, retribution
Coba
zones
guys,
are
Yuzong
a
lawan
lot
Akai
if
tuh
you
enak
need
guys,
to.
karena pas muter
That's one of the biggest
naganya
things,
tuh
but already see both
Thank you
teams in
Dedi.
position
Siapa
for
yang
this
bahas?
one.
Waduh.
Aduh, Baloynya mati.
Baloynya mati dong.
Flicker nice banget Loy.
Mati Akainya. Mati Akainya.
Akainya tuh, Akainya bunyikin. Akainya mati. Gak apa-apa, yang penting dapat turtle. Nice.
Gelo guys, tetap kompak cuy.
Thank you, Joko Castro.
The same trade that we have been asking about in the last game.
Promosi
Again,
gimana
I would
maksudnya?
choose to have that turtle, but look and take notice.
Tapi
that
siapa
Shadow
tahu
was
di
the
balik
one who got
Nael
the
gak
kill,
main
and
ini
also, as I
emang
told
jalannya
you, if
Kadera
he's
untuk
free,
melihatkan
and also, if there's something that I
Performa
can
gold
terbaik
lane-nya.
dari dia,
here
guys.
is that there's no
Siapa tahu kan
crowd
dua
control
match ini
enough
Kadera
to
menggila
hold
banget.
this Uranus. Not just that.
Thank
Actually, Burmese
you.
Bulls going back to the emblems point. I
Marki
think
Buat
saingan
karma peras kali ya.
emblems in their favor to have a tanky approach in the early game, and this will actually help their formation.
Gak bisa lah guys, pinjemin Albert, gak bisa gitu guys.
Mati sih.
Max nggak mukbang lagi, istri gue ngidam liat lu mukbang. Ini gue mukbang sama istri lu bang.
Waduh, merusak hubungan nih.
Bikin konten terus.
Semua cewek disikat bener-bener.
Disikat.
Bikin konten.
Thank you Pak Jul.
Tidak paham lagi.
Corrosion sudah jadi Dix ya.
On board or for a roster
Jujuran gue akuin.
positioning. You don't want to actually knock people away in the wrong direction with a heavy spin either. So it's kind of a mini game in itself.
Menang sih lo
Patternnya bagus ya Marki ya.
But so far so
Oke ya.
good. It's
Makronya mungkin dia paham lah.
Iya. Lu
Lu
main Baxia bisa Max?
Baxia nggak bisa sih.
Cap, thank you Cap.
Thank you
Sisi.
Kok Balo lewat situ berani banget ya?
Nah lihat, Uranusnya udah kayak gini nyebelin nih.
Oke, Shadow ulti.
Late game kuatan mana Max harusnya Burmese goal.
Cuma jadi itu banget ya, lumayan pasif banget gitu langsung mainnya ya.
Iya.
Yang dari tim Barbar jadi tim Black.
Iya, soalnya Nail kan biasa main Baxia juga bener-bener masuk terus, iya invade terus. Wih, semoga lancar Akbar.
Marki.
Dorong. Marki. Apa namanya? Retri M5 doang nih. Retri 1 match.
Sabar
Halo Agni.
And with that, once again, the fact that Stitch has
Wah,
that
networknya beda 1300 belum jauh sih guys.
Bukan lu, Max.
Gold-wise, right, he's very
Cuman ini
Oh, iya,
PR
iya,
banget
iya,
nih
iya,
si
iya.
Sayan aja.
Now,
Berarti gue ngajak mukbang, misalkan ajak mukbang cewek gitu, gue merusak dia sama pacarnya gitu.
Thank you someone, betul.
Pacar sama
Itulah ya.
Beuh, makan
Di
sore
mana-mana
kita
tuh
guys.
kalau ada balance, yin and yang.
low action game so far, 5.5 minutes in.
Geekfam on the other
Itu
hand,
kenapa Nail nggak main
just
kalau
saw
udah 2
that
game
he,
ini?
Avoid took the Nichols of Duran, so he can actually
perang tuh,
be
perang
Dua
tuh,
match,
atas.
2 match, lawan 2 tim yang berbeda, bukan 2 game ini.
Perang belum ada perang dulu
I think
guys.
that when it comes to the
Agak
gold
perang-perang ini dua
division,
tim
or
ini.
what's the matchup there?
Ngeri kali Markia kayak
Belum berani dia kayak
Boleh lihat kalau untuk game kayak seruan Brand tadi ya.
And so far I see
powernya
that
Max
both of them
ini
are going for a
buang
let's
boleh
say,
Herman buang ke rumah gue
aggressive
sini.
approach.
It's funny because this lineup kind of reminds me of on Nico.
Whoa.
Waduh Kadera. Oke nice Kadera.
Nice banget Kadera.
Nice. Ayo Marki.
Waduh banget Gunifer cok.
Wah, kena kiting gini ya.
Bukan hero emang Gunifer.
Kamu thank you, iya bener. Balu jangan nata boleh sih, itu mungkin
So
secret
that's
start
exactly
ya.
what I was going to talk about, right? This is like the lineups that's reminiscent of the one we saw just the other day, where
Iya,
it's,
kayak langsung gak jalan ya.
these tanky heroes, these kind of
Masih segame sih guys.
lineups where you initiate.
Gue penasaran di perangnya aja.
Everybody's just, slapping each other and then no one dies, right? For the most part. That's kind of where we are until we get to the later portion of the game. For this.
Migration onto Marky. We're still holding on to the position.
Ini Burmese kitingnya nyebelin guys. Gunifer sama Uranus.
Marki sih nggak tegang ya, nggak pakai ulti dia digituin. Ulti, nah.
Thank you someone.
Rodri, wah.
Lu lihat betapa kuatnya Akai lawan Baxia.
Iya, cuma Akai ya terkuat juga sih di Turtle.
Dia mati sih, kalah perangnya.
Nice.
Menang nih perang kayaknya. Kayaknya.
Luke! Luke!
Double kill.
Ada flicker.
Aduh flicker.
Hitungannya cuan
Oh,
sih.
yeah,
Damul,
so
thank you Damul. Ditunggu aja Damul nanti ada
But
promo
bodies
berikutnya.
everywhere.
Untung siapa, Cok?
At this point, I would actually say that Geekfam are the ones who won that team fight.
Kayak untung Burmese gold dah.
Ya dapet turtle siapa tadi?
Burmese.
Geekfam are just like right now. I think that team Geekfam can
Kevin
actually
Prasadana
push
lagi
and use
makan
all
teh
their
hidung
heroes,
gua.
especially that Bruno. And
Time harus
also,
digas dulu guys
there's
biar
really-
ulti
there's a
kebuang
really
terus udah
good
jadi hero
take
nggak
here.
guna.
I think that Luke is so free in his lane. 2-0.
Makan apa nasi goreng atau
And
amblas?
also he manages to join that team fight on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, again, when you looked at that team fight, kind of
Itu kan ada
unfolds,
Albert.
right?
Yeah.
Things just
Luke
fell
sudah
into
pakai
place.
Yujong sudah pas
For the most
Musim
part,
Indonesia
both
bisa
sides,
tuker-tuker,
but
anjing.
ultimately it was an
Permainan
extended
pasif
team
dari kedua
fight
belah tim.
because of that interaction between
Kalah
you know,
Luke.
Lina and of course
Hero-nya.
Avoy and how they play around with these nether realms and everything else, and also set up potential
Lawan
wise,
buat
right?
Adera.
It's great.
Aduh, balonnya kena lagi.
Requiem
Mati kali.
from that spatial migration. A good nether round. Finds an
Aduh,
explosion.
Akai bro,
No
nggak bisa bro.
follow-up. It's going to hit
Bener-bener
down.
counter banget sih, Tigreal
To be
kena
a great
Akai.
play from Geekfam.
Tapi ini ada
Ends
naga
up a
sih.
disaster.
Tengok
Maybe not
lu.
just yet.
Tapi ada
Diving to the
Paramis.
bottom, too deep. Oh,
Ya.
Ditunggu aja Faiz.
blunder.
Itu ID-nya udah dicatat kok.
Dia nggak expect ya.
Maybe
Ada ulti Paramis. Kalau nggak ada ulti Paramis
here's
mati
how
kan
we know,
Max
right?
Steel.
I mean,
Yang ngurusin tim
being a
militer
beeline
saya bukan
for
aku.
the back line,
Sayang
ends
banget
up
Luka.
getting punished. So right now, Geekfam has to respond.
Soalnya kan yang
to this
jalanin
defense
eventnya
that
banyak.
Burmese Ghouls is gonna throw at them here
Malam
in the
mati di
lane.
Anfield. Kenapa tuh tanggal itu siapa main? Liverpool siapa?
Oke, Lord Spawn ya guys ya. Landingnya bagus nih Geekfam bawahnya.
At some point, Blank is the one who's really doing the final touches for Team Burmese.
Really.
Si Blink map hack. Enggak lah, nggak mungkin ada map hack guys kayak gini.
Lawan Munyu ya.
They were winning.
Yang Wargala 03 ya.
We have seen these individual movements
Oke, ngilang
and
Baloy.
his positioning, but there's a concealing.
Marco udah setengah lagi aja.
For the team fight
Kok
and not
boros banget darahnya?
Lalu udah belakangnya dia Akainya. Aduh, Akainya
Aduh.
Rating nggak sih Marki?
Aduh, Wargi.
Balo yang dapet.
Gak apa-apa.
Nice.
Tapi di sini Sia sih lumayan.
Point again.
Iya, Jir.
Was it worth it, that whole exchange here? Yeah.
Yuzong juga nggak mampu ya. Ada Falamis masalahnya. Ada Valen Faramis.
Iya, dia di cover Valen Faramis ya.
when he took the lower
Dakai
back.
lagi mau apa
Again,
sih?
at some
Dakai
point,
sama
maybe
Gwyn
the
lagi, Dok.
rumors forget that they are rumors and
Tapi Gwynnya dari tadi main depan sih, Jo.
to take some
Iya.
objectives, not just kills.
Berat punggung Baloy.
I don't know, man.
Nah, benar tuh Indo Pride.
Hammer right there.
Berat lagi mau
Ada
Baloy.
lagi Sam overrated, gimana bisa overrated kalau kita belum lihat performanya.
Jangan Jo Max gangguan apa
He's
Jo?
like, it's my time to
Enggak lah,
shine.
tipu-tipu.
Tipu Kevin Neon.
Does he have a flicker? Oh,
Big boy Beloy.
Big boy Beloy.
Big boy Beloy.
Beloyski.
That was a play and a half right there.
Kapan
And now
Homeboys
they're gonna play
main?
around with this.
Lah balik lah Homeboys, main-main apa lagi?
Getting in position here. Burmese Ghouls. Yes, they're in the lead.
Damage dealt-nya
But
Luke
is
paling
it
gede.
even enough? Beloyski.
Baloy
we
flank,
can see
Baloy
on the
flank.
backside.
Konsil Baloy.
Wah, gila.
Baloy.
Kasih ini akainya sih.
Kalau tai.
Baloy, lu harus pertimbangkan akainya, Baloy.
Lo lihat
Apanya ya?
Sia.
Beli di Bangkok gila. Baloy kok mainnya nge-tilt gini ya kayak.
Gak bisa langsung ulti, harus proc ulti Akai dulu gak sih?
Iya.
Maksa mainnya.
Iya, kayak tadi Luka maksa, Baloy maksa.
Ini bukan Geekfam yang komik kenal sih.
Over and over again by Nico. And looking
Apa
here
biar cepet Nail main aja ya?
the map at the mini map
Ah,
itself.
tapi kalau Nail mau
Even
kalau
though
misalnya mau
the
Nail mau
Burmese
main
or
tuh harus
Burmese
menang
Ghouls,
guys.
Geekfam are the ones who are winning
Thank
when it comes to
you.
macro.
Masalahnya kalau ini
Okay,
kalah
this
dia
is-
harus lawan si
It's
Usun aja.
interesting how everything's kind of falling
Kalau
into
live
place
dapat
here,
duitnya
right?
dikit berarti bangunnya
Burmese Ghouls
dapatnya
even with the lead
beda
they
lah.
have,
Kalau Winda
Geekfam
kan live-nya
somehow
dijadiin
pulling
konten
things
gitu dia
through.
kayaknya.
Beloyski also, you know, this
Lebih
is
jago
one of
si
the
Yusun
things
lagi
about
menurut gue
Burmese
daripada
Ghouls.
BG.
You
Jadi
kind of try to
hitungannya
force
kayak
these
live-nya jadi
situations
video
out.
Mendingan
juga.
lawan
Jadian
ini
Quite
Fire
take
Flux
himself,
kalau
but
enggak
really
Ramuan.
that's kind of one of the new
Semangatin
nuisances,
Tifa biar
I
nggak
guess, playing against
gamon.
Tigreal.
Biar
Is
nggak
the
gamon.
setup potential. Whether he has
Oh,
the
nggak
flicker
gamon
available
pohon.
with the
Tifa
implosion or
semangat
not,
ya.
he's still just this front line brick. Not only that, but he can also take the Lord.
Sabar, Kaderanya jadi nggak sih nih guys? Kadera itu tipe orang late game guys.
169 kali ya.
Geekfam actually has to utilize the fact that they have this lineup, extend the fight, but not get pushed away. If you notice too, exactly what we expected from Nico, right?
Ini harus bonyokin Akainya dulu, Tigrealnya nge-flank, badannya Marky
Iya.
udah. Aduh, ini kalau kayak gini terus nggak bakal bisa Baloy ini.
Kalau Akainya selama Akai masih ada ulti nggak akan pernah bisa sih.
Iya. Kasih aja badan Marki. Nah, ini bisa nih, ini bisa nih.
Nah.
Ini bisa nih, Baloy.
Gas, boleh.
Balikin sih.
Bisa,
Aduh, mereka kayaknya tahu deh kalau misalnya belum ada flicker juga Baloy. Ya udah pasti tahu guys ya tim M5.
Not having look at this specific moment is not actually looking anywhere the word good for Team Geekfam because the Lord is up and
Sulit sekali.
that zoning and also that the crowd
Enggak, harus lawan 2 tim dulu.
Okay, he's taking a brunt of the damage.
Yeah.
Kayak gini
But
aman,
he's gonna be
Cok.
fine. Shadow now too, spotting him out.
Oh,
Nah,
Harus ngasih Baloy.
nggak ngaruh tapi.
Tapi enggak damage.
Karena Iksir
Udah urusan Ita, Mas Faiz, bukan aku.
GG sih guys,
Tunggu
ini
aja.
kayaknya.
kayak game 2 deh.
Tough to see.
Iya.
Ini sih ente sih game pertama sih.
But no follow-up.
Clear lane juga nggak ada nggak sih? Itu kebanyakan tank juga Geekfam boleh lihat.
And Geekfam now they're gonna have to play the tune of Burmese ghouls as they
High ground juga.
High ground lawan Iksia juga
Di round 3 bisa main apa enggak? 2 match itu berarti kalian harus main 2 tim, guys. Lawan 2 tim.
Ada Rizky, semoga tambah sayang sama Rahman.
Bukan 2 game, bedain 2 match sama 2 game.
Rahman tuh goblok. Obat kali berdua anjing.
Lama itu.
Lu.
Oh, buang Yuzong ultinya masih ada Lord.
Waduh. Sudah lah ya.
My friend.
Ya, jadi sawah. Ntar ada ular sawah di perut lu. Keren lu.
Kalau sih posisinya udah kayak main sendiri anjing. Dia mau nge-flank itu. Itu Baloy.
Marki bisa guys main jungle, cuman powernya nggak tahu, gitu aja.
Iya, udah jadi warisan turun-temurun itu Sphinx.
Dia tahu makronya, cuman nggak galak lah. Nail galak banget, masuk-masuk.
Ya, namanya role-nya emang berbeda, bro.
Itu sama kayak kalian suruh Kokomek XP main bot lane maju-maju mati, guys.
Nah, itu mending kalian langsung forfeit.
Nah, sama, ini juga Marki main bot lane nggak berani maju-maju, disuruh main hero maju-maju, udah. Jadi di belakang terus kayak MM.
Semangat Rara.
So just buy more time, make good setups, one play. Bisa nggak ya game 2 diganti ya, boy jungler gitu ya nyobain?
Bisa.
Oke, udah sebenarnya role kan.
Nice lu kayak gila lu. Lu kayak gila lu.
Blunder si Stitch-nya juga gak sih mencar dia?
Ini sama temennya,
Aduh. Thank you, Bos Fems. Mah mati-mati pertanyaannya. Lumayan guys, lumayan nafas segar.
Ntar Bruno gua belum nge-kill nih.
Bruno lagi guys ya. Ajarnya masih 4-0 nih.
Iya, karena masih 4-0 sih. Aman. Karma forma soft, Pascal medium. Nice guys.
Alhamdulillah ada angin segar untuk game guys.
Lumayan nih Peter.
Ajarnya lihat.
Kadera? Aman?
Aman cukup.
Nice.
bisa nggak ada ulti Paramit ya.
Dia enggak tadi dia malah
Santai.
Oh dia malah di depan.
Iya. Kadira di HS.
Dia udah ganti nama jadi Stephen.
Oke sih kayaknya.
Universe full tank soalnya.
Ya kan sama aja mie ayam nyanyi.
Burmese ghouls, how do they recoup
Oh, yeah,
from here?
Astagfirullah.
Itemization wise too, things fall into place for both
Pelan,
teams
pelan,
now, and then we're just seconds away from this Lord.
I told you that it will need one flicker ult from that tag
Kadera udah
flip
fed sih.
everything around and make
Poison wanginya buah Kang Bang juga nggak sampai buah banget tapi
lumayan
lumayan fresh gitu.
We have seen that being executed
Bang,
and
Arul
now losing the inhibitor to it. And on the other hand, Geekfam, even though they were pressured, they haven't lost any inhibitor to it so far. So we will see together what will happen.
Lawannya gini bagus video.
Mantul Max.
Botol Max.
Because both of these teams are waiting to set up a really good composition.
Kenapa Kadera beli DHX? Kayaknya mau mukul Uranus sama Akai deh.
Ya, Uranus, Akai, Gunifer 3
Oke lah.
Bikin tank sama itu.
immortality for Nico.
Burmese
So
udah
Burmese have a
ngerti
bit of
ya,
upper hand.
ngerti sama DHS nih.
Netherrealm also will come in clutch here.
Kita lihat damage-nya set.
Geekfam,
Set.
how they approach it.
Loh.
Shadow.
sakit.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Aduh,
Nice.
Ranus full tank.
Baloyski
Kita lihat.
is
Semangat
taking
tuh, temen lu.
all the way back.
Lihat
Look at
Baloy.
Baloyski, what
Mata
he's
di
doing.
bawah guys.
He's
Mata
going
di
for
bawah.
Iya, udah panas ini, udah panas.
Mata di bawah.
Posisi. Kamera.
Mata di bawah. Mata di bawah. Gila Baloy.
Nah,
Kasih tahu Baloy, kasih tahu.
Tapi
Aduh, akanya dapet cok. Percuma Baloy kayak gitu gak ada damage. Masalahnya sama Luka anjir.
Astaga di
Bubar guys.
Gila Valentina-nya. GG dong ini. GG lah. Burmese gue dapat mark juga, Cok. Oh, GG.
Gigi sih.
Game 2, game 2.
Si Luka kenapa nggak fokus ke AK aja ya?
Despite a big brain
Bener
play
gak
from
sih?
Baloyski, it doesn't
Nggak bisa
matter
sih
since
Jo,
the
itu bisa early game doang sih Jo.
as they
Iya ya,
punish
kalau udah late gak ngaruh ya.
Kalau udah lihat harus
in a
di
tour of
Bruno-nya yang
events, and
bonyokin.
now
Kalau ada Quiras mah nggak
with
bisa
a
Jo.
lead,
Iya.
will
Luka itu udah harus ke
Geekfam
MM, Jo.
side. Can Geekfam
Nah, berarti udah
get
bener tadi
back
sama
in
Tigreal ya?
time?
Benar-benar.
If it weren't
Memang
for
ada
the
damage
advantage
juga
that
ya.
Team Burmese
cuman
would
AK-nya
have,
harus
would have
dibonyokin.
that
Kaderanya
game,
harus
won
berani.
that game,
Masalahnya bisa bonyokin
with
cuman
just taking that
Kadera,
top five,
makanya
but now
Kadera
everyone
tadi
will be
Kadera
back
takut,
in
Cok.
time to make that
Orang-
Kayaknya
soalnya
Yonzong
di
itu
Koko ya
early
tadi
game
ya?
ke AK ya guys, late
can
game nggak boleh ke AK.
actually make this
Willy, thank
defense
you.
work because not just the damage, but
Pani
also having the
cantik,
Netherrealm,
jangan
and not just the
insecure.
Netherrealm, also having these
Ini harus berani
ultimates
sih.
coming
Nanti
from the
dikasih
Netherrealm
sun sama
and the
Koko
zoning
Max.
coming from the user.
Sebenarnya bunuh si
Lord makes its way
Isia
down
bisa
the
sama
flank. Geekfam gonna have to defend
Marky
their
juga
lives
sih.
out for this one. Nico
Ya,
staying
kalau
up the
Marky
top
ikut
side,
juga.
mid-turn gonna be work done
Terus
here.
Tigrealnya
Netherrealm
cover.
still, can they stay in the game?
Cuma mencari momennya sulit gak sih?
Finds these
Intinya
setups,
ini
but there just hasn't been a
mendingan
follow-up just
hit
yet.
bareng
So they lose the top
Plus
turret, the
gabung
bottom.
mabar.
Ranusnya salah.
Papoy, thank you Papoy.
If
Semoga
they
sukses
still
selalu
put the
ya.
pressure,
Kayaknya sih
they're
bagus ya
still
boleh lihat.
respecting the fact that
Di defend
Geekfam
nih midnya nih.
has some
Kita
setup
tengok.
potential and can turn things around, but here they go.
Wah,
Wah,
Dapat dua.
Mati.
Marky yang ngegas tuh.
Kayak gini nih.
Bisa nih.
Kayak gini nih.
Bisa kali.
Nah, Kadera ayo hit berani nggak?
Mati.
Pukul! Pukul!
Nice Marky.
Nice.
Gila. Marky udah mulai terbiasa nih kayaknya guys. Nice banget. Iya. Cuma harus Marky sih.
Baru gua
Mas,
bilangin
udah
ya,
Marky.
Marky bisa ke Ixia.
Iya. Semangat Dani Sworo. Jadi
Kejar, kejar, lu kayak kejar. Terus.
Mati
Nice.
sih Niko.
kasih tahu.
Terus.
Kasih tahu.
Ini kalau AK mati.
Oke, nice. Immortal kebuang.
Banget Iban, jangan beban lulu anjing. Waduh, bibirnya. Waduh, aboy.
Pukul!
Bisa end gak sih?
Pukul!
Bisa end kok.
End!
Gila. Marky moment yo.
One moment enggak Marky. One moment.
Gila. Marky jungler save the day.
On the place of
aja, guys.
Baloyski
Mantap!
and the rest of the team.